Discover the best in local business news with a subscription to the IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. For a limited time, try us out for just $1 a week for 8 weeks. Claim this limited time offer now at ibj.com/trial offer.
Do you want to mix moments of inspiration with time to network? IBJ Media Events has you covered. From industry deep dives to awards celebrations honoring Indiana's top leaders, see what's coming up and reserve your seat now at ibj.com/register.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Friday, August 29th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. The factory floor that once printed millions of Sears catalogs and Yellow Pages directories is set to roar back to life, this time with electric trucks instead of paper. Slate Auto is in the midst of a $400 million investment in the former Donnelly plant in Warsaw to make its trucks. CEO Chris Barman.
From the earliest days of Slate, we were focused on simplification of manufacturing. Our vision for an American-made, affordable vehicle. What Slate is about to build for America begins in Warsaw.
Slate is promising more than 2,000 jobs and setting up the site as a hub of EV production. The company plans to hold a formal ribbon cutting in 2026. Midwest Food Bank of Indiana today announced a $9 million fundraising campaign to build a 50,000 square foot warehouse in the Indianapolis area to help distribute food statewide. The public phase of the Under One Roof campaign comes with most of its fundraising goal, $7 million, already secured. The Schererville Board of Zoning Appeals this week approved plans for the Schererville Family YMCA to expand its footprint. The YMCA is looking to take over the former Jack's warehouse location next door for the expansion, which will include new basketball, volleyball, and pickleball courts. A timeline for completion was not given. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
Indiana Secretary of Energy and Natural Resources Suzanne Jaworowski told attendees at the annual Indiana Water Summit on Thursday that a pending statewide water plan must be transparent, data-driven, and developed collaboratively, in line with Governor Mike Braun's recent executive order.
The executive order signed by Braun in April directs state agencies to create a statewide water inventory and management plan by the end of 2026. The planning framework is supposed to align utilities, industries, and municipalities and other water users. The executive order also mandates the creation of a real-time, publicly accessible online data platform for water usage, infrastructure status, and future demand projections. Jaworowski said in essence, it means the state and its stakeholders are coming together to collaboratively create an inventory of current water usage, the future of water domains, and to better understand the availability of groundwater and surface water in all regions of the state. Braun's order came amid growing concerns about Indiana's water vulnerabilities. A report released last week by the Alliance of the Great Lakes, for example, warned that Indiana's water supply could soon face strain due to compounding demands from residents, agriculture, manufacturing, water-intensive data centers, and climate change. The Hoosier State has historically lacked a comprehensive statewide water policy, unlike neighboring states including Ohio, Michigan, and Illinois, all of which have long-standing frameworks to guide water quality and usage management. Jaworowski emphasized that water planning in Indiana should not come from, quote, top-down mandates, but instead be, quote, a conversation that's regionally driven. I'm Mark Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Officials in Boonville broke ground Thursday on one major community project while cutting the ribbon on another. The $19 million city pool, when complete, will feature an Olympic-sized outdoor pool, 2 water slides, a 10,000 square foot pavilion, playground equipment, and a new splash pad. That's in addition to expanded parking and additional restroom facilities at the city's Richards Pool site. Meanwhile, the new $3.5 million Boonville City Lake Park is now open. It features a new splash pad, playground equipment, and a basketball court, as well as additional restrooms, sidewalks, and expanded parking. Mayor Charlie Wyatt says the projects are part of an overall effort to grow the city's recreational options. A Butler University graduate and Indiana Orr Fellow has invented a way to adapt helmets for people with cochlear implants, solving a major problem for the deaf community. Ellie Howe's solution is a modular foam insert that could be added to an existing helmet to protect the delicate devices.
So it could be put in a ski helmet, could be put in a bike helmet, and then you think about all of the different activities that people do with helmets. So football, lacrosse, then you even think about construction helmets. I'm just excited for this community to have their moment to shine, and to use it is what I'm excited about.
Howe's mission now is to move it to market. Testing and licensing the product are next on the entrepreneur's agenda. PNC Bank executive Jason Eckerly is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
What happens when a basketball superstar changes the course of an entire city? I'm Mickey Shuey, and in Beyond Clarkonomics, we tell the story of how Caitlin Clark's arrival to the Indiana Fever sparked more than just sold-out arenas. It's rewriting Indianapolis's long-term strategy for sports, downtown growth, and women's leadership. Listen at ibjpodcast.com or on your favorite podcast app.
Do you want to know what really drives change in Indiana? You won't find it in sound bites, you'll find it in stories. Stories from CEOs, lawyers, coaches, entrepreneurs, and community advocates. That's the IBJ Media Podcast Network. Insightful, local, impactful. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcast.com.